I've got lots of fascinating facts to share with you today, so I'm hoping that my brain is in good working order. There's a lot to remember. Raise your hand if you have a brain. Whew! I'm glad all hands went up. Yes, of course you have a brain. All vertebrates have brains. Who remembers what else all vertebrates have? Right, a backbone. You know that you have a backbone. You've been testing out those wonderful flexible spines that support your bodies and protect your spinal cords. You've learned that your nervous system is a complex network with two essential organs, your spinal cord and your brain. Your spinal cord is connected to your brain by the brainstem, the central trunk of the brain. Your brain itself is very soft, but it is well protected by your cranium, or brain case. The strong eggshell-shaped part of your skull is formed from 8 interlocking bones, wedged together like the pieces of a jigsaw puzzle. Inside your skull, your brain floats in a clear liquid that cushions it and keeps it from banging against your skull. The external surface of the brain has grooves and folds, resembling a huge walnut. About the size of a cantaloupe or a grapefruit, this jelly-like pinkish-gray blob has blood vessels running all through its wrinkled mass. They carry oxygen, water, and other important nutrients to the brain. The brain, when fully grown, weighs about 3 pounds. That may seem pretty small and light for such a big body, but humans have larger brains than animals when compared with their body size. So even though the brains of elephants and whales are actually larger than human brains, their brains are smaller than ours compared with their enormous size of their bodies. There are three main sections of the brain. There's the brainstem, the cerebellum, and the cerebrium. Each part of the brain has an important function. Your brainstem, about as thick as your thumb, is approximately 3 inches long. It helps to relay messages between your brain and spinal cord. The bottom third of your brainstem, that part that blends into the top of your spinal cord, is called the medulla. The medulla is responsible for many of your body's involuntary or automatic functions. The medulla helps control your breathing and your heart beating. It also helps your digestive system do its work, and you don't even think about it. The medulla even helps you sense both your external and internal environment, so your body can make the best adjustments for safety and health. These are just a few ways your nervous system is interconnected with other systems. The cerebrium is the largest part of the brain, filling the whole upper part of your skull. Language, memory, thought, sensations, and decision making are housed in your cerebrum. Your cerebrum is the thinking brain. The part of the cerebrum that does most of the thinking is called the cerebral cortex. Your cortex is the deeply wrinkled outer surface of the cerebrium. The more that it is used, the thicker it becomes. In other words, people who use their brain to think a lot thicker cortexes develop thicker cortexes. Do you think your cortex is getting any thicker? It is. You are learning a lot each day. Let's look more closely at the cerebrum. The cerebrum is divided into two halves or hemispheres. The two hemispheres of the brain, the left hemisphere and the right hemisphere, are linked to one another by thick nerve fibers. Interestingly, each hemisphere has its own specialty for learning and responsibility for muscle movement. Did you know that your right hemisphere controls the muscles on the left side of your body? Place your left hand on your head and wave your right arm. The left side of your cerebrum controls muscles on the right side of your body. Now place your right hand on your head and wave your left arm. The right side of your cerebrum controls muscles on the left side of your body. One hemisphere develops learning specialities that are different than the other hemisphere. The left hemisphere is associated with language, math, science, and reading. The right hemisphere is mostly associated with imagination, music, art, and understanding patterns. Together, the right and left hemispheres work together to move your body and help you learn about living in your environment. If, however, you use the left side of your body more, that is, you kick with your left foot and you hold your pencil in your left hand, the right hemisphere is dominant. The right hemisphere is mostly associated with imagination, music, and shapes. The third part of the brain, in addition to the brainstem and the cerebrum, is called the cerebellum, meaning little brain. Tucked under your cerebrum in the back of your brain, your cerebellum resembles your cerebrum with two hemispheres of its own. Your cerebellum is the control center for balance and coordination. It is constantly adjusting the way your body moves. As you practice any physical activities such as dancing, your cerebellum receives messages about your body's actions and positions. It sends commands back to your muscles, adjusting your movements. As your cerebellum gradually becomes more accurate in its corrections, you begin to notice improvements in your dancing, or whatever activity you are trying to perfect. For example, if you have learned to ride a bike, chances are you didn't master it all at once. It took practice. Your cerebellum was in charge of your balance and coordination, making small adjustments with each improvement, until you could pedal quickly and furiously on your own without even thinking about it. Let's try an experiment to demonstrate what the cerebellum does. Close your eyes and reach your arms out to the sides of your body so your body makes the T shape. Slowly bring your arms forward, touching the fingertips together. You may open your eyes now. Was that easy for you? Your cerebellum coordinated your movements for you. If you damaged your cerebellum, you would not be able to do this simple exercise. No matter how hard you tried, your hands would jerk around without any control. Now, let's put all the parts of your brain together. Look at this picture of the brain. See if you can identify the three parts: the brainstem, the cerebrum, and the cerebellum. I'm going to ask you three riddles to test your knowledge and see how well your brain is working. Are you ready? I am the largest part of the brain, divided into two hemispheres. I am sometimes called the thinking brain. What am I? The cerebrum. Next one. I am only 3 inches long, but without me the spinal cord would not be connected to the brain. One of my parts is called the medulla. What am I? The brainstem. Last one. I look a lot like the cerebrum with two hemispheres of my own, but I am much smaller. Without me, you would not be able to balance on one leg. What am I? The cerebellum. Well, great job, everybody. Your brain is not very big, and yet it is more powerful than the strongest computer ever created. All other systems of the body are dependent upon this complex three-pronged organ that lives inside your skull. Your brain is the center of your memory, thoughts, and feelings. Your brain is in command of your whole body. When your brain stops working, the rest of your body will stop working as well. Well, I think I remembered everything I wanted to tell you today. Next time, we'll look inside your skull some more to see what else is tucked away within those bones in addition to the brain. See you then.